Then because it ain't real. It ain't real. How blunt can I be? The stuff ain't real. Either they in on it or it's a joke.
So how did they just get away? You telling me that y'all was able to ride that, shoot as many times as y'all had to shoot? From where did y'all stop at? Right here? Right here? Think about it.
Alright y'all, shout out to Drea O for this video right here. For y'all that don't know who Drea O is, she's definitely one of the legendary bloggers, YouTubers, whatever you want to call her when it comes to the Chicago content. Now, somebody brought this video to my attention. I'm mad I didn't see it sooner because this was a good one. Usually when people say, oh, Hookah, you a conspiracy theorist, everything doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory. You right? But everything isn't just a coincidence neither. And we have people that's actually from Chicago who's saying the same type of stuff that we're saying. So like I said, a lot of times they say, oh, you're not from Chicago, you don't know. So what happens when you have people that's actually from there saying the same thing we say? Now, I told y'all before, if you stay updated with us through Instagram, if you're not, it's at Hookah Anonymous _. But if you stay updated, I did tell y'all that I did want to show some things that didn't make sense to me and point out a few things from Mello Buckzz shooting that kind of was a little off, right? So we're going to use this video. Shout out to Drea O. I'm going to leave a link to the whole video in the comment section so y'all can check it out as well. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but if you want, like I said, it's going to be in the comment section. But two people within this video was saying a lot, right? A lot. Pointing out the things that don't make sense, in which these are the same things that we were pointing out when it first happened. I just wanted to give it time to breathe because we do know that whether this was set up or whatever it was, real families and real people were affected at the end of the day, right? But here's my thing, right? One of the girls claimed she was there, and she, if y'all remember, it was a video of her recording the situation, and it's like she was talking to somebody. One, when you pay attention to these rappers and the shootings that be happening, it's always somehow one person who was there that have their phone out and telling you what happened, right? But if you pay attention, she said that somebody got out of the car and started shooting. But if you watch the video clearly, nobody got out of the car and started shooting. It was a drive-by. So my thing is, where did she get that story from? And if she was there and claimed she seen it with her own two eyes, what did she see? Right? Unless this is something we're not being told and we just see the car, but it may have been somebody else on the side shooting. Because y'all gotta remember, they said it was shell casings from, I think, like a Glock and then an assault rifle. I don't know. What I'm saying is something don't make sense because her story, from what she's saying, somebody got out the car, from the video we seen, totally different. Totally. Right? Then they said 18 people were shot, but we never heard anything about the other people that were shot. We only hear about the 4. We didn't hear no names that was put out there, no nothing. And the only videos we did see of anybody shot was the ones we know that passed away were friends of Mello Buckzz. And that's another thing. Out of the 18 people, somehow the only ones that was shot and unalive happened to all be close to Mello Buckzz. Now also, we see YFG Fatso trolling and basically admitting to the shooting on social media right after it happened. He went as far as apologizing to the people that lost their lives. Why? Right? And why put yourself out there like that where you're basically telling the police to come get you for a mass shooting where 4 people were unalive? You basically telling them you were involved. Why? Then you have to really remember that YFG Fatso is the same one who posts all type of one-eye symbolism and like demonic things to his socials. So who knows? Maybe they're all in cahoots to paint a certain narrative, because I don't even know a fool that would do something like that. Now also, the news said it was an SUV with 3 shooters. Clearly it wasn't no SUV, and it didn't appear to be 3 people firing. It seemed like only one, judging from the video surveillance that we seen. But once again, it was not an SUV, and if I'm not mistaken, they said it was white. I'm not sure, I don't remember the white part, but they said it was an SUV. Clearly we seen that it was a car, some sort of Honda or who knows, but it wasn't an SUV. And also, right, we seen that Mello Buckzz had police in the venue with him. I don't know if he looked like police to me. I don't know if he was police or bodyguard, but he looked weird. He looked out of place. If you pay attention to that whole video, he looked out of place. I don't know. First of all, where did he come from? Right? Where did he come from? And who hired him? That's another thing that everybody needs to pay attention to. That bodyguard. For most rappers, an event like that, they have their own bodyguards, and it's usually, African American, because we're not, he looks out of place. He looked like he was assigned to her, if that makes sense. Right? But when all those shots were going off, where were they? And why wasn't the car caught immediately? It seemed like the police started arresting everybody except the people that actually did the shooting. And in a place like Chicago where a known rapper is having an album release party, why wasn't there heavy police presence on the scene in the first place? Right? Why wasn't this recognized from the beginning? Why nobody said, yo, hold up. It's all these people here. We are downtown, right? If I'm not mistaken. Wherever we at, this is a known area where it's a lot of other people. How isn't there no police outside? Something doesn't make sense. There's no police outside downtown. It doesn't make sense. No police presence. So I don't know with that situation. Then when you think about it, the accuracy, just think, right? 17 to 18 people were shot. The bullets didn't sound like no switch or assault rifle like they said, judging from the videos we seen, I think on TikTok, of somebody that was driving, and then we heard the shots. It just sounded like somebody was firing very fast and accurate. This don't seem like the workings of just some low-level street dude. Then understand that most of these guys who will pull something like this off, they're not gonna pull up and do this with a Glock or something. These guys are into the Dracos, the switches, and etc. Once again, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just calling out everything that doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. And here's another thing, right? With them knowing that they're into it, knowing that somebody just passed away, knowing that it's a possibility that somebody could have lost their life, why would they think it's a smart idea to have the whole party downtown in the first place? In the open. Why would you still have the party? Then if you realize they said certain guys wasn't there. Certain NL, who's not gonna go there and support Mello Buckzz? Right? She's big, no limit. Something don't make sense. And like I said, so we're gonna get into this video. Those are some of the things I pointed out that just doesn't make sense. I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna let y'all hear these guys and what they had to say. That was just me pointing out some of the things that don't make sense. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
How is it possible you think they didn't find them?
Then because it ain't real. It ain't real. How blunt can I be? The stuff ain't real. Either they in on it or it's a joke. Look, we black here. Let's just keep it real. You know good and well we measure our crime. You got to be a special kind of stupid on cocaine and broke to come into one of the most affluent neighborhoods in Chicago and do that. You talking about the penitentiary. Trump already got Alex Allen already set up. Black folks read the news. In Florida, they just opened up Alligator Island. We know what's going on. We don't want to go there. So now we're gonna risk everything what we got to shoot up a female rapper? Come on, man, that story don't make no sense. What's the benefit? I can see if you held up First National Bank and you got a couple of million, then you going down for something big. I'm not saying she ain't got no value.
There you go. You see that? And it was another guy too, but who are these people? Who are these people right here? Who? Something, I don't know. Something, this security guard just looked off, and I think it was another one, but like I said, I don't know who he is or whatever. If he's police, y'all from Chicago, y'all should be able to tell us more. But he was there, and nothing was done.
But she a brand new rapper. What's the value in shooting that up? There's no value, so the story makes no sense.
This how I'm thinking about it. This Chicago Avenue, River North Chicago Avenue. If you're trying to get out of that jam, let's say for instance, you will have to ride this way back into downtown Chicago. High traffic possibility, but then this way, where you going? You still on camera? So how did they just get away? You telling me that y'all was able to ride that, shoot as many times as y'all had to shoot? From where did y'all stop at? Right here? Right here? Think about it. So you were able to get off this many shots. Boom, 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 boom. You hit 18 people. All women. They're not just standing still. Once the shots go off, you know how we going. We gonna get out that jam. So it's either people trying to run back in the venue, it's either people trying to run right here, or it's either people running down the street. But they're just not standing still like, no, whoever got out, and they said it was a rifle or something or whatnot. So you had to literally, you had this much confidence that you was gonna get away with this. But you got out possibly. Boom, 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 boom. You just shooting. Look at the look. You didn't shoot this window out, the Dunkin' Donuts, right? Look at the small windows here. You didn't shoot any of these windows out. You deliberately came to shoot and kill.
Now, that's what I be talking about. You hear the point he's trying to make? He's saying whoever did this, they knew what they was doing, right? When I talk about mercenaries being placed in these neighborhoods to keep the gang violence going, some of y'all may not understand. Y'all think it's a conspiracy theory, but this is true. Go look it up on YouTube. Just put in mercenary groups, right? These are groups that are put literally in urban neighborhoods to keep gang violence going by unaliving opposing gangs. So you may think the Crips unalived the Blood the whole time it was one of the guys from the mercenary groups. You may think a Blood unalived the Crip the whole time it wasn't that. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta be mindful of that. What he's saying is, yo, how were they able to shoot that many people that accurately with all them shots? They didn't shoot out no windows, nowhere else. They didn't shoot no windows. They just shot straight people. You got to be a different type of marksman to do some things like that, right? With the people running and all that. You shot 18. See, when you step back sometimes and pay attention to the things we're being told and realize when something don't make sense, that's when, thoughts start coming. You shot 18 people. See what I'm saying? Accurately, not hitting no glass, no nothing. 18 people, and all the 4 that lost their life happened to be close.
This wasn't some retaliatory attack. This wasn't just some angry instance. No, these people came here to murder these individuals, to murder black people. And let me just say, for lack of better words, to murder Americans, black Americans.
For all the people that are kind of slow, just break it down in 2 sentences what you really think happened in the most vague way you can.
It was planned. Just like the war in the Middle East. It's been planned.
They trying to frame it. This how they trying to frame it as some type of retaliatory instance, saying, oh, well, it was a shooting that took place on 87 that they was supposedly making fun of. So you telling me out of anger, you came here and you didn't get the people that you was, well, they possibly did. But you came here and you shot up all these people out of retaliation? No. You didn't just ride up here. You didn't just stop your car. You didn't just shoot all these people for no reason. Not just like it's we're savages. The black Americans here in Chicago, supposedly savages. No, this not that.
Give me a few rappers, put your head to the side, sad, call women. We're the only race that call our women B's and H's, and we want every other race to respect us. Make that make sense.
Do you think
so? It's easy to say that 4 black men came down here and acted a fool because we allegedly doing it in our own community. It's easy to sell it, but I ain't buying it because I'm from the hood. 83rd Dallas. I grew up. I knew Mr. Ford. He was the head of the Black Peace Stone Nation. He lived in my building. I knew the gangbangers. I knew the Peace Stone Nation. A lot of them brothers was good. They give out turkeys for Thanksgiving and Christmas. They do a lot of positive stuff. All gangs.
For y'all that don't, let's see what he's gonna say.
Things ain't bad.
You think it was an inside job?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I'm not gonna go there.
Hold on, before he keep going, right? Let me say this. When people think of gangs now, it's always correlated with some type of negativity, right? Because it was made like that. We're programmed to think that, but from back in the days, these gangs weren't bad. They were formed due to the oppression that was being put on our neighborhoods, whether it was through the government or the police. So they were formed out of oppression, and it was like a fight back. Somehow, some way throughout the years, they made it to where the gangs are bad, they're negative, they're unaliving each other. But it was never that. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
The goal is this. The goal is to take it from our communities to this, because the thing is worldwide fear. That's what they want. They want to profit from fear because they want our rights. They've been doing it overseas for decades. It's America's turn. They can't beat us because we got our rights. But if they divide us, which they've been doing, if they fool us, which they're slowly doing, and if they cause fear, we're going to give up all of our rights, including our weapons. They already got us fighting each other. Black men, black women, we can't get along.
What do you think about the details of who they said the shooter was? It sounds very, very vague, right?
And it always is. You can go back 10 years. It's almost the same story, different street, late at night, same crap. 4 black men get out the car, spray the place up, ain't found nobody. Same story. And I'm like, come on, man, get a little script. It's a non-story.
You know what's funny? See, and when I say this, they swear it's the same script every time. It's just like in the music industry, how they got the script of, oh, this one messing with little girls, this one. It's the same thing, and we fall for it every time. Every time.
So what is the story? The story is fear. I'm going to bring the same fear and the T word that they don't want us to use, T-E-R-R, that they done brought in the black community for generations, and bring it to every community so that we can surrender this thing. It's called freedom.
Another thing
Hey, maybe I'm a little slow. What's T-E-R-R? Somebody put in the comments. He said the T word, T-E-R-R. What the?
they don't really like us down here.
No.
So what better way to get rid of us from down here than letting something happen and then saying you guys shouldn't be down here because you're not going to reopen this space.
Yeah, well, yeah, who would? Who would? Look. First of all, it's an economy killer. Let's keep it real. And already, they already got statistics. We don't have the buying power or the political power that we need. So you already hurt your money. Once you get a reputation where you don't feel protected as an owner, like this is the Dunkin' Donuts. Most Dunkin' Donuts are 24 hours. Most gas stations are 24 hours. Okay? Most Walgreens, when you get this type of violence, it's an economy killer. So who's gonna hurt the most? Who has those jobs? Black people, poor white, poor Latinos. So why the hell you gonna hurt your own people? It makes no sense. If you didn't learn anything from 5 years ago, when it comes down to a crisis, we're the first one to get hurt. How do I know? They called him essential. What the hell is essential? Oh, we not, because they didn't let our businesses stay open, did they? So who stayed open? All the bigs. They made millions of dollars. Everybody else had a mask on and kept their money inside. We got to understand economics and how it's done. It's a war. Because we outnumber them, they have to out-strategize us. They give us a checkerboard with a monopoly, but they playing chess.
All right, y'all. Like I told y'all before, I'm not going to play the whole video because I don't want to take away from her video. I want y'all to actually go to her page. I'm going to leave it in the comments so y'all can check it out. this was a very, very, very dope video. Because it goes against the norm, right? Everybody just want to believe what they're being told. But when you start being observative, when you start putting two and two together, when you start paying attention, certain things just don't add up. It don't make sense. And these are one of the things. And like they were saying, what person in their right mind, is gonna go and shoot up an event like that, where it's a possibility that you could get caught? Nobody in their right mind. They got license plate readers. They got shot spotters. They got red light cameras. You got surveillance from buildings. All this stuff is against you. Anybody in their right mind is not doing that. It doesn't make sense. That's just my point. I'm not going to say, because I know y'all, listen, I'm not going to say it was a backdoor. I'm not going to say it was a setup. What I'm going to say, something don't make sense. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.